Good evening, barflies and lounge lizards, and welcome to the Atomic Snack Bar. And tonight we'll be discussing some wacky and weird ape-themed B-movies. This isn't a top list or a ranking, just some wonderfully bizarre films I wanted to talk about. And first up is Kong Island from 1968. Directed by Roberto Mauri, Kong Island is an Italian adventure film with some light sci-fi elements. And it tells the story of a gentleman by the name of Bert who is out for a little revenge against a former partner who has betrayed him. A young woman has been kidnapped by gorillas, and Bert believes his former partner might be responsible. Well, he was right, because his former partner, who just happens to be a mad scientist, has been implanting radio transmitters into the brains of gorillas in order to control them. And with his gorilla army, he takes part in a little, ready for it? You know I've got to do it, guerrilla warfare. Bert and company head out into the jungle to put a stop to the mad scientist, and along the way they meet a Sheena-esque jungle girl. Taking place in Africa, this one features no Kong and no island, but it does have some really cool looking, almost wolf-like gorillas, so that alone is time well spent in my book. The Italian title of the film translates into Ava the Savage Venus, which makes a whole lot more sense considering the jungle girl element. It actually reminded me a whole lot of Dr. Butcher MD, aka Zombie Holocaust, just without the gore, or the nudity, or the cannibals, or the zombies, but otherwise exactly like that. The film stars American actor Brad Harris as our vengeance-seeking lead. Harris was a stuntman, actor, and producer that appeared in numerous European productions. Snack bar patrons would probably know him best from films such as Here's Django, Pay or Die, The Fury of Hercules, and The Beast in Heat, but he did plenty of other interesting movies as well. Next up we have Mark Lawrence as our mad scientist. Lawrence was also an American actor, known for playing tough guys and gangsters. He appeared in The Monster and the Girl, Public Enemies, and Night Train the Terror, which is an underrated little anthology film. And finally, we have Esmeralda Barros as our jungle girl. Barros' most notable role, in my book, was the Rosalba Neri classic The Devil's Wedding Night from 1973. Actually, I have another finally, but Mel Wells of The Little Shop of Horrors and Spectre Man did some voiceover work in Kong Island. This is one with an incredible soundtrack that reminded me of something right out of a Black Emanuel film, and said score was by Roberto Pregado. Pregado, and I probably mispronounced that, also worked on the comic book films Criminal and Satanic. This is an oddball movie with no Kongs and no islands, but I sure had a good time with it. Next up we have The Bride and the Beast from 1958. Directed by Adrian Weiss, The Bride and the Beast is a jungle adventure film with some light fantasy elements, and it tells the story of a newlywed couple that come home after the wedding. But the fun doesn't stop there. Our groom has a little surprise for his bride, a wild gorilla locked in a cage in the basement. You'd think he would have led with that. But the caged primate, a big ZZ Top fan named Spanky, clearly has a little thing for the blushing bride. And surprisingly, or maybe not, she seems to feel the same way, and the two begin a relationship that makes Jessica Lange and Kong from King Kong 76 look almost appropriate in comparison. Turns out, after Spanky is put down and the wife is hypnotized, the couple find out that she was a gorilla in a past life. But unlike the poster or the title would lead you to believe, The Bride and the Beast isn't really an ape movie. That is actually a very small element, most of which is in the first 20 minutes of the film, with a bit more in the last 7 minutes. Far more focus is put on a jungle expedition and some escaped tigers who are stalking and picking off the expedition members. The film stars Lance Fuller as our big game hunting husband. Fuller was a film and TV actor with quite a bit of genre film work under his belt. He had appearances in This Island Earth, The She-Creature, and Voodoo Woman. Then we have Charlotte Austin as our nature lover. Snack bar patrons probably know Austin best from another gorilla classic, Gorilla at Large. But most importantly, we have two great gorilla men in the cast, Ray Crash Corrigan and Steve Calvert, with Corrigan playing Spanky. Corrigan was a stuntman and actor known not only for gorilla acting, but also westerns and his role as the Martian from It, the Terror from Beyond Space. Steve Calvert, who was also an accomplished gorilla man, did a bit of robot acting playing bots in both Target Earth and The Bowery Boys Meet the Monsters. Also of note, he appeared with Bela Lugosi at the 1953 Hollywood premiere of House of Wax. Based on a story by Adrian Weiss, the screenplay for Bride and the Beast was written by Ed Wood, and you can tell, there's even a mention of Angora. Another impressive figure behind the scenes was score writer Exotica legend Les Baxter. That right there is almost worth the price of admission. This is one with a fairly bad reputation, mostly because it becomes a different film about 20 minutes in, but I thought it was a lot of fun. So if you dig low-budget jungle adventure movies with some great gorilla suits, you might get a kick out of it. Just a warning though, there is a bit of stock footage featuring a tiger fighting a crocodile. You don't actually see either get hurt, and you've probably seen far worse nature documentaries, but I just want to give you a heads up. And lastly, we have the Mighty Peking Man from 1977, or as scientists call it, the Mighty Peking Man. And if you've seen the movie, that's almost funny. Directed by Ho Mung Hua, the Mighty Peking Man is a Shaw Brothers take on both King Kong and Tarzan/Sheena. And it tells the story of a giant ape that appears in the forests of India after a large earthquake. The owner of a Hong Kong entertainment company wants it captured to either be put in a show or stuffed, because who doesn't have room for 50-foot taxidermy? So a group is put together to go capture the ape all King Kong style. But unlike Kong, the expedition runs across a jungle girl. So both Jungle Girl and Giant Ape are brought back to Hong Kong, and that doesn't exactly go well. And while the Mighty Peking Man fits nicely into the Kongsploitation genre, Shaw Studios definitely went hard on this one. There's a strong exploitation film vibe. It's like they saw King Kong 76 and thought it was just too soft. There's a scene where a tiger bites a dude's leg off, so they end up putting him down for good measure. The dude, that is, not the tiger. There's another scene with an elephant attack on a village, something I don't think I've ever seen in a movie before. The film stars Danny Lee as the hero of the piece. Lee is an actor, director, and writer with appearances in The Battle Wizard, The Oily Maniac, which no, is not what they call me at the donut shop, and The Killer. But probably most notably, he was the star of my favorite tokusatsu film, The Super Inframan. Then as our jungle girl, we have Evelyn Kraft. Kraft was a Swiss actress who also appeared in Lady Dracula. The Mighty Peking Man is also known as Goliathon, and the Peking Man himself was sculpted by Keizo Murase of numerous giant monster movies including The Terror of Mechagodzilla and Frankenstein Conquers the World. I also read that he played the Peking Man in a certain less than safe scene I don't want to spoil, but I was not able to confirm that. And this is a case where I enjoyed most of the picture, but man, the ending was dark. It makes King Kong look downright happy in comparison, so be forewarned. And that's all the time we have for this week. Please like, comment, subscribe, watch the skies, and stay atomic.
Welcome to Pioneer. May I help you? Oh, well right now when you buy a 10-piece bucket of Pioneer chicken for just $5.99 and a regular Pepsi, you'll get a free Pepsi mug and a free kids ticket to Universal Studios tour. It's a monster of a deal.
Buy a 10-piece bucket of Pioneer chicken for just $5.99 and a regular Pepsi, and get a free Pepsi mug and a free kids ticket to Universal Studios tour to see King Kong.
Isn't he supposed to be on top of the Empire State Building?
We at American Tourister know that waiting for every suitcase is the unexpected. That's why we reinforce our beautiful American Tourister lightweights with a steel frame, rugged rubber wheels, and tough protective corners. To us, at American Tourister, it's not just how good it looks, it's how long it looks good.